I remember booting up Cyberpunk 2077 on day one. The hype was real. I had watched every single piece of marketing. I knew I was going to be a street kid life path. I wanted to be that rough kid on the block. My partner was going corpo. She liked the whole business mogul aesthetic. We were ready, and then it hit.
Breathtaking.
Despite the drama, the missing content, and all the chaos online, I kept playing and making content for the game, and for the most part, I was enjoying myself until I started to run into my own issues, like quests not completing, or the game crashing, or weird AI that we saw footage of online. There was even a point where I created a character build that moved faster than the game engine could allow, and the graphics were popping in as I was already at the location. If you were zooming around the game like some of the journalist reviewers, then this kind of stuff is pretty easily missable. The fact that the AI all acted the same when you shot a car or did anything, the complete lack of police AI, and eventually it became apparent that Cyberpunk wasn't just a buggy game, it was an unfinished game. And what I found most disappointing, and I think what affected players the most, was the Night City wires and the marketing leading up to launch. Not even 6 months before the original release date of the game, before it was delayed again and again, CD Projekt Red were talking openly about all the amazing things that Cyberpunk was going to be, or maybe could have been if they had another year or more to develop the game. Today is the 1 year anniversary of Cyberpunk 2077, and since the first 2 months I've steered pretty clear of the game. This week I decided to boot up the game and try a Nomad playthrough to see how the game has changed. First thing I saw was... oh, that's not good. But despite that, I made my female V and hit the open road as a nomad. Well, for the 20 minutes that the life path actually matters, I hit the open road, and then you get the cutscene that turns you into a street kid regardless of your life choices. Wouldn't it have been nice to be able to play through this cutscene where you and Jackie learn your way through Night City and you get your first apartment and your car and those first weapons? Playing through the first act of the game again really highlights the potential that the game had. Remember Trauma Team, those random guys that show up in that amazing intro tutorial mission? Or Max Tag, those brutal cops that waste those guys on your way back from that mission? There's all this setup for characters and gangs that don't really go anywhere. There is a shallowness to the end resolution to these setups, and there could have been something truly special here. I would have loved to live in an alternate reality where Cyberpunk got all the time it needed to develop and release the full product they talked about before launch. That timeline sounds much better than the timeline we got Cyberpunk 2077 in at launch.
Somebody just bombed the sacred timeline.
Due to the rampant outrage online, CD Projekt Red announced almost immediately that they were getting to work on fixing the game, and on the 14th of January 2021, published an apology and planned roadmap. If you haven't been following the game closely, you may not have noticed that they've been subtly updating this roadmap throughout the year, pushing all of the major updates like the next-gen patch and the free DLCs further and further back.
Holy shit, V. I wasn't sure we'd walk out in one piece.
Think we're done. What now?
I had enough for one day, let me tell you.
The original roadmap told fans we were getting patches 1.1 and 1.2 to fix many of the game's bugs and glitches in the first few months of the year, with free DLCs, plural free DLCs, to follow in the first half of the year, with the free next-gen update coming in the second half. Well, we did get patch 1.1 on the 22nd of January and patch 1.2 on March the 30th, which did fix a huge amount of issues, and then we didn't hear much.
I know the rules. Everything's there.
It might be, it might not be. We'll see.
The roadmap was quietly changed. The free DLCs, now specifically small additional content, and the next-gen patch were both coming in the second half of 2021. And then nothing. a couple of hot fixes for patch 1.2, and months of silence until we got patch 1.3 in August, bringing another list of fixes and some minor improvements to the game. Plus, we did get some free DLCs. We got a new Johnny Silverhand alternative appearance, a new jacket for V to wear, and a new car. Not necessarily the kind of content that I was looking for personally. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, one of my favorite games of all time, got 16 pieces of free DLC, 3 full armor sets, not just a jacket, 5 new quests, 3 alternative appearances, new Gwent cards, new weapons, a new game plus, which Cyberpunk desperately needs, and new beard and hairstyles for Geralt, which V absolutely needs in Cyberpunk 2077, a game about making changes to your boring human fleshy parts, making them mechanical and functional. There is no way to alter your physical appearance after the character creator still. But we're getting sidetracked. After patch 1.3 and its hotfixes, the roadmap has seen its final change. If you go to the original blog post from January in 2021, this is the roadmap you will now see. Updates, improvements, free DLCs, and the next gen update all coming in 2022 and beyond. No dates or further information have been provided. The team is hard at work though, not only on these updates, but also on the first Cyberpunk expansion, announced through an earnings call recently. CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Krasinski told Polish publication you guys can tell me how to pronounce that in the comments. The next update is 1.5, and that it's coming sometime in 2022 alongside Cyberpunk's 2077's next gen update. So patch 1.4 seems to either be included in 1.5 or it's just going straight to 1.5 because it sounds much nicer from a marketing perspective. Either way, there are free DLCs and more content on the way. Despite the murky future for Cyberpunk 2077, returning to the game this week, I did notice a difference, even on PC, from those initial days. The NPC AI does seem less ridiculous. I don't run into the same 2 NPCs on every corner. Even the police don't directly spawn behind you anymore, but they still randomly spawn around you just a little bit further away. As a whole though, the experience is much more smoother and more enjoyable than the original product we got last year. Cyberpunk still feels far from a finished product that we were promised, but in a vacuum, if you picked up the game for the Black Friday sales, like many people did, or you're considering playing the game today, you will find a playable, enjoyable experience. It's just a shame that what could have been the pinnacle of open world RPGs to bring us into this next generation turned out to be a complete disaster. Hey there, this video is very different to the content that I would typically launch on this channel. If you've watched this far in the video, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this style of content. Might consider making more. Also consider subscribing, liking the video before they remove the like button. My name is Norza, thank you for watching and have a great day.